And now look. But you know who I blame for this shit? Our parents. I mean, I don't mean my parents specifically, because that's not the case for me, but just in general. They came over here, they got a mortgage, and then university came. They thought that going to university was the holy grail, when really, us going to university was just something that they could use to show off to other parents. Fuck it. I'm being real. Most of you parents that are today in your 50s and 60s only sent your kids to university so that you could brag to other parents. Real talk. And I know I got parents in that age group listening to me. Yeah, I know. I'm going to say it again. Most of you parents in your 50s and 60s only sent your kids to university so that you could brag to other parents. I know some of you are shocked at such an accurate discovery, but what you got to know about me is I'm young enough to have Giggs' last mixtape, but old enough to own Johnny Gill's first album. I know what it is with you people. You killed our youth's ambition and made us place faith in an educational system that effectively just keeps us busy, but doesn't empower us. You didn't realise that education only goes so far, especially when it wasn't designed for us in the first place. You thought that simply sending us to go to university would make it all okay. But guess what? It's not all okay. But you know what? I ain't mad at you. I'm just taking your example of what not to do. No way in fuck am I sending my kids to go to school to get a good old job. Fuck that. Too much apathy. I'll say this in closing. If you want to challenge white supremacy and you're a black person, make sure you have at the very least the power to employ your own children. If you can't do that, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about your beef with the white man because you ain't equipped. Let me say this to every single black father out there. If you have children, make it your business to set up a business for your children to take over. You may not be rich from it today or even in your lifetime, but your son or daughter will be able to eat from it, and your grandchildren will be able to thrive. I want you to listen to this Claude Anderson clip and then take from it what you will and learn something. Enjoy.
Education is a process. It's a tool. It's a tool. And education in and of itself cannot empower you. And if you got to learn, if you want to get power, you must use it as a tool. And so that's why I always stress economics. Because what we are competing against is not the fact we've not been well educated. Black people in America right now hold the record in the world for the fastest educational achievement of any human beings on earth. You already got that as a record. When you came out of slavery in 1865, between 1865 and 1895, that 30-year time period, you reduce your illiteracy rate by yourself by over 50%. And you surpass whites coming into this country. Black folk have the highest educational achievement on earth, while people coming out of enslavement. But the process that we don't have is the economics. That's what, and I learned in all those years in the Marine Corps and also as a pilot, and also when I took over education for the state of Florida, as you know, during the integration. I found out that if you want to empower yourself, that's what you're going to need to change some of the structure. You're being programmed and brainwashed. And if you're going to change it, you must have an economic base, an economy. And it goes as a 5-story building, that high. 5 stories you must be able to capture if you're going to empower yourselves. It goes first with economics. And once you get your economics and your place power and wealth, then to capture the second floor. The second floor is politics. And you learn how to control your politicians with your economy. If you can't buy a politician, you rent a lease his butt. You control the second floor. Then once you take over the politics at the second floor, then you go to the third floor. Your third floor is your law enforcement and your police departments. And your court system. You then use your politics to control the second floor, so you won't have any police abuse and misuse by the police and exploitation of black folk and beating black children. And then when you learn how to control the third floor through your economics, then you move to the fourth floor. Your fourth floor is your media. Then you can buy radio stations, TV stations, and cable systems. You have an advertising base. You cannot have radio in this country without an advertising base. And to have an advertising base, you must have an economy to support it. White folk are not going to support your media. And that's a form of brainwashing if you don't control the media, the television, the cable system, the newspapers, whatever it might be. And then the fifth floor is education. And then you move to your educational system. Your educational system is responsible for indoctrinating and maintaining that entire structure. And see, we've never had an economy. And consequently, all the people we're competing with that are coming into this country, all the people you're competing with, all the Asian, Hispanic, they're not coming to this country to get an education. They're coming here to build an economy. And once they build that economy, they then use that economy to move into politics. You don't see any Asians in politics now or in Arabs. They got a condo. Once they build an economic structure in this country, they're going to go to the next floor and start taking over your political ranks. They're going to Congress and taking over all your politicians and buy them and sell them. And then they're going to take over the court system. We got to learn how to use education.
So you heard all of that, yeah? That was black liberation. And in none of that did you hear the black woman is God and learn your inner light and master astral projection and recognize that you're a Moor, and not even a word that even rhymed with the word Kemet. I'm telling you, fuck this Afrocentric bullshit and get on the black economics wave. That's what it is. If you don't do that, your kids are going to be piss poor and they're probably going to end up living a legacy of debt that you leave them with because you haven't empowered them. I'm gone.